we come to celebrating our baton veteran, our one of the surviving Baton Death March veterans. Happy birthday, Tony! 100 years old. Girls are gonna celebrate. Tony. What we're going to do now is we are going to take the cake to the back. We'll be cutting it, and then the people will be serving it to you. Benton, do you want to come forward? And while Benton comes up and reads the proclamation, I think Bob is going to present him with a brochure, the original brochure that has all the members, the charter members of the Taos County Historical Society. And guess who's there? Tony Reyna. We have an awesome birthday card for you that we have asked everybody here to sign. I'm gonna give him the card, but if there's anybody here that has not signed it, we'll put it in the back, and you guys are welcome to come and sign it so that he can have your wishes. One more thing is, Judy, are you going to present Mr. Reyna with one of our books?
Tony Reyna was supposed to go to Santa Fe on Monday, but due to the weather inclement, he was not able to, and so we are going to present this proclamation for him. And it reads the following. The legislature of the state of New Mexico, 52nd legislature, second session, 2016, Senate Memorial 53, introduced by Senator Carlos R. Cisneros, a memorial proclaiming February 1st, 2016, Tony Reyna Day in the Senate. Whereas Tony Reyna was born February 1, 1916 in Taos, New Mexico, and whereas Tony was raised at the Pueblo of Taos, located in the Sangre de Cristo Mountains of northern New Mexico, and whereas Mr. Tony was educated at the Taos Pueblo Day School and the Santa Fe Indian School, and he graduated from Santa Fe High School in 1936. And whereas Mr. Reyna was a member of the New Mexico Army National Guard and was mobilized for active military duty in the Philippines during World War II. And whereas Mr. Reyna is a Bataan Death March survivor and endured 3.5 years of brutal captivity as a prisoner of war until he was liberated by American forces in 1945. And whereas Mr. Reyna was a patient at the Letterman Military Hospital in San Francisco, California, and the Burns Army Hospital in Santa Fe before his return to settle in Taos. And whereas Mr. Reyna opened the Tony Reyna Indian Shop in 1950 at the Pueblo of Taos, which has remained in continuous operation to this day. And whereas Mr. Reyna has become a highly respected member of the Pueblo of Taos governing body, beginning as Secretary of the Governor's Office in 1975, then serving as Lieutenant Governor in 1977, as Pueblo of Taos Governor twice in 1982 and 1992, and as a lifetime member of the Taos Pueblo Council. Whereas Mr. Reyna served as a police commissioner of the town of Taos, as a member of the town Municipal School District Board of Education, and as a trustee of the Millicent Rogers Museum, and as a tribal judge at the Santa Fe Indian Market. And whereas Mr. Reyna was named a Santa Fe Living Treasure in 1992 in recognition of a lifetime of service in the Pueblo of Taos and its people, his community, his state, and his country. Whereas Mr. Reyna is a New Mexico honored veteran who served during times of peace and war, is a recognized leader of the Pueblo of Taos, and is a community leader of the highest and most exemplary accomplishment, who demonstrates his public service and service to others. And whereas Mr. Reyna celebrates his 100th birthday on February 1, 2016. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Senate of the State of New Mexico that February 1, 2016 be proclaimed Tony Reyna Day in the Senate, and be it further resolved that copies of this memorial be transmitted to Tony Reyna, the Governor of the Pueblo of Taos Tribal Council, the Mayor of the Town of Taos, the Adjutant General of the Department of Military Affairs, and the Secretary of Indian Affairs Department. I was going to give a little bit of a talk on Tony and what all happened during the war, but they are pushing on time. I would bring up that if you all can, there's a real good article about the members that were taken prisoner of war and on the Bataan Death March in this. And then from my own personal, that was given to me by my dad, is a picture of Tony and my dad, Dalbon, in Santa Fe, where the white flag at Bataan Memorial Victory says Guard Chief. This was April 10th, 1991. I will leave it over on the table if anybody would like to skim it. That would be fine. And with that, I will give to the most honored person the legislature's proclamation. Somebody's got to work. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure on behalf of the Taos County Historical Society to continue our program and introduce our speakers for today. Before doing so, I want to express my personal sincere thanks to our honored guest and visitor, Tony, for all that he has provided Taos over a century of life here, and also recognize that we provided Tony with a copy of our publication, Ayer Ioi, in addition to the book, Taos, A Topical History. At this time, I also wish to acknowledge for the board and the Historical Society the delightful happy birthday wishes, the mañanitas, that were provided by Liz Trujillo, Kathy Blanchard, and Maggie Vihal for Tony's 100.